Changing the subject of a formula, example 1. So let's take something very, very simple. We've got A equals B plus C. The subject of the formula at the moment is A because A is on its own. What we want to do is to get C to be the subject. We want C on its own. Well, how do we get C on its own? We have to get rid of B. And how do we do that? We subtract B from both sides. So A minus B equals C, or let's write it with the subject at the front. C equals A minus B. Simple as that. Example 2. What about T equals 2x minus 3. And what we'd like to do is to get, not T, we want to get x to be the subject. T is the subject at the moment and we want x to be the subject. First thing that we're going to do is to get the 2x term on its own. So I'm going to get rid of the minus 3 by adding 3 to both sides. And the next thing I'm going to do is to get the x on its own. So we've got to get rid of the multiplying 2. And the easiest way to get rid of a multiplying 2 is to divide by 2. So t plus 3 over 2 equals x. And if we turn it around, we get x equals t plus 3 over 2. Now, A equals x minus y. A is the subject at the moment, and what we want to do is to get y to be the subject. Now, there's a slight problem about y. That's the fact that we have a negative y here. We can deal with that. There are different things that we can do. I'm going to subtract x from both sides. Now, you may have heard of the instruction, change all signs. So the A, which is a plus A, although the plus is not written, becomes a minus A. The minus x becomes a plus x. And the minus y becomes a plus y, which we'll just write as y. I'm going to put y at the front. Now I could write it as minus a plus x, but quite often if we have one positive term and one negative term, the positive term comes at the front. Changing all signs is equivalent to multiplying all of the terms by minus 1. And the reason we do that is because the intended subject is negative here and we want it to be positive. Okay. Here we're going to have some fractions. We don't have a subject at the moment, we've just got two fractions, a over b equals c over d, and what I would like to do is to make a the subject of the formula. So I want a equals. How do I get a on its own? Well, you can see that we have a dividing b here. To get rid of a dividing b, I'm going to multiply by b. So a equals c over d times b. And I would normally write that as, we normally follow the order of the alphabet when combining letters, so b comes before c, bc over d. And remember that bc, two letters together like that, means b times c. Final example for this slide, this video. We want fractions again. What about something like this? 2x over y equals t over p. Now, what I'd like to do is to get p to be the subject of the formula. So the subject of the formula is on the bottom line of a fraction. Perhaps the easiest thing to do. When you've got two fractions, there's one, and second, two fractions separated by an equal sign, the easiest thing to do very often is simply to cross multiply. So if I cross multiply, what do I get? Well, 2x times p equals t times y. No fractions. I want p to be the subject. How do I get p on its own? I have to get rid of this 2x. What's the 2x doing to the p? It's multiplying the p, so I'm going to divide by 2x. P then equals ty over 2x. What I'd like you to do is to go to your textbook, that's book 2, the yellow textbook. It's page 22, exercise 2.5, and try questions 1 and 2.